So for this show, this was kind of an on a whim show. I saw the band name on the email from the venue and looked them up on YouTube and really enjoyed their music, so I decided to go to the show. So the show was at Baltimore Soundstage, and it was Hands Like Houses, and there were 5 acts all together, so it was almost like a mini festival. So the opener was Arlington, then the Faim, then Devour the Day, Emarosa, and then Hands Like Houses headlined. So getting there was actually really easy, considering I had to work in Rockville, Maryland until about 4:30. So the fact that I was able to make it up to Baltimore by 6 o'clock was pretty impressive. There really didn't hit a lot of traffic. The only time I hit traffic was right when I was getting into the city, around exit like 49, 50 or so. So that was the only time I hit traffic, and then I spot heroed my normal parking garage for Baltimore venues, and it was easy, and I found easy parking. So that wasn't bad. The only thing about getting there that was a little bit frustrating was after checking the website and even the Ticketmaster site, just to like see information about the show, it said in like bold letters, the time for the show has been changed, and it said that the doors were at 5:30 and that the show was supposed to start at 6. So when I got to the parking garage at like 5:53, I was like booking it to Baltimore Soundstage, and when I got there, there was a line out the door because they hadn't done doors yet, and then the show ended up starting at 6:30 instead of 6 o'clock. So that was a little bit frustrating. I just wish I had known that. I would have maybe taken my time a little bit, eaten dinner, just like basic life skills. So that was a little bit frustrating and annoying that they said that the doors were going to be at 5:30 and the show was going to start at 6, and then it was doors at 6 and show at 6:30. But anyway, so Arlington. I really, really enjoyed Arlington's set. Their first song was not that great, but it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't really that interesting to me. So I was like, okay, like this is just gonna be like a typical opener band that's like okay and decent. But man, that second song really, really blew me away. I was really impressed. Lyrically and musically, it was a really strong song. And then on the 4th song, which maybe some people would find annoying, but I really enjoy it, the singer would like inhale after every line of the verses. So I thought that was really cool, and I really, really do like that when they do that. So I enjoyed that 4th song. I thought it was really good. And then towards the end, it was the bassist's birthday, so they played a Strokes cover, which was fantastic. It was really great. I really enjoyed that cover. It was a really like obscure song, so again, normally I would hate that if I didn't know the song, but I loved it because I knew the song, so it was really good. And I'm sure other people in the audience didn't love it, but I did. So they were like a really strong opener. I really enjoyed them. I'm glad that I got there early enough to see them. So then the next band was the Faim, which is Faim, not Fame. And they came out with like a really strong song, and their second song in particular, the bridge, just like totally pulled me in. I really enjoyed their set thoroughly. I think they had a really interesting sound, and like that first song in particular, it was like a lot of like pieces to it, and I thought that was really cool. So it kind of like started with, he almost like rapped a little bit, which was interesting, and then he kind of went into like a slower part, and then it went into like a more poppy part. So I just like really appreciated the different layers of that first song, and it definitely pulled me in as a listener and kept me interested for their whole set. So I really liked their set. I thought it was really cool. And then towards the end, the lead singer came out into the crowd, and as the lead singer was out in the crowd, the keyboardist just decided to take the keyboard off the stand and like walk around the stage with it. So I like super appreciated the fact that they were like a really fun band, and they just were like all over the place, and the singer coming out in the crowd was pretty cool. So yeah, they were definitely an interesting band. Definitely gonna check their music out. Really liked them. Would definitely go see them again for sure. The third band was Devour the Day. They were definitely a little bit more straight up rock with a little bit of screaming. Unfortunately, their sound was just not great. It was really hard to understand the singer when all the instruments were playing at the same time. The bass was extremely loud, like bone shaking loud. So that was a little bit disappointing because I really liked the music in the 5th and 6th song. I thought they were really good, and of the lyrics I could hear in the 5th and 6th song, I really enjoyed it. So I'm a little bit upset, and I wish that I could have heard the lyrics more clearly throughout the whole set, because I really, in my opinion, took away from the experience, because I just couldn't understand what he was saying. And I know that sometimes when you like scream and you have a heavier and like a deeper voice, it's sometimes harder just in general, but it was just, I mean, maybe I was getting every 4th or 5th word, like it just was not, it was really hard to understand what he was saying. So that was like really disappointing. And the lead singer seemed like such a genuine guy, and I just like really felt bad because I wanted to enjoy it more than I did, just because I couldn't understand the lyrics. So that was a little bit disappointing. But the other cool things that they did, oh my gosh, of course now I can't remember. Oh boy. Oh, the bassist. Yeah, okay. So like the bassist was like a huge like conundrum, catch-22, whatever you want to call it. So the bassist was so loud, so every time he was playing, I was like, man, this bassist has got to stop playing. But then the bassist was awesome. He was just like so exciting and like moving around the stage, and oh my gosh, I am sure he's got to have like brain damage from all of his like headbanging and just rocking out. Oh, he was so fun to watch. Really, really entertaining. So that was a really good part of the show. And again, the music was great, and I really did enjoy some of the lyrics that I could hear. But just overall, the lack of ability to hear lyrics really impacted my enjoyment of that set in particular. Then Emarosa came on, and they were really excellent. And I know that when I go back and listen to them, like in digital format, I'm going to love them. Again, the sound wasn't great for some reason. I don't know why. The next 2 bands it was really hard to understand the lead singer, but they were fantastic. And if you ever get a chance to see Emarosa, please go see them, because just watching them on stage was awesome enough. Like, kudos to the lead singer for being awesome. So they were just like jumping around stage doing whatever, but then at the beginning of the 4th song, the lead singer picked up a guitarist with his guitar still in his, like on his body, on his person, and head to feet just flipped him over. It was like just a quick split-second thing, but it was amazing. It was really cool. And then the very next song, the lead singer jumps into the crowd with the other guitarist just on his shoulders playing guitar, and he just walked around the crowd with the guitarist on his shoulders. So that was pretty cool. I had never seen anything like that before, so that definitely was an interesting, really fun set. Again, really liked their music. I especially loved some of the bridges, like the bridge in the 2nd song and the 3rd song was really good. I really, really enjoyed the last song that they played. Again, I just wish I could have understood more of the lyrics. I really liked the music in the last song. That last song, when they said it, all right, like, this is our last song, and they started playing that music, I was like, bro, you don't even need to sing. You could just play the music, and I would have been happy. And then when they started singing the lyrics, the ones I understood, I was like, ooh, I really like that. Again, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the mic they were using or what, but I just really, it was kind of hard to understand him, and that, again, really took away, because I really liked the music, and they were so energetic, and I think it would have been a really, really great set if I had been able to understand what the singer was saying. Alright, so now let's get to the headliner, Hands Like Houses. So I had been listening to them on YouTube for a couple days. I downloaded their new CD on iTunes, and I was really looking forward to this show. They reminded me a lot of Tiny Moving Parts, just because I had discovered Tiny Moving Parts just based on their name, and they're a little bit more of like a rock band than an alternative band, so that's where similarities come in. But yeah, so Hands Like Houses, they started with a pretty heavy song, and I didn't recognize it, so I mean, it was fine, but it was definitely like a heavier song than I was used to hearing. And then they kind of went into their like less heavy stuff, and the 3rd song they played one of my favorite songs of theirs that I've been listening to, so I was really excited about that. That was a really fun song to listen to. And they did like a nice job about talking about their new album, and like saying, okay, we're gonna play new stuff now, and then we're gonna play old stuff. So they did a nice mix of new stuff and old stuff. They definitely played probably at least like 5 or 6 or like 6 or 7 new ones, and then a couple of the old ones. So yeah, so then they played a couple more songs. They did have a slower song towards the middle of the set, which is pretty traditional, pretty typical for shows. And then after that, they played one of the other singles that I knew. So that was pretty good. Anytime they played a song I knew, I really enjoyed it. And they actually played a song that I didn't think, not that I didn't think they were going to play it. I mean, it was definitely in the top, like within the top 7 on YouTube of theirs, but sometimes bands don't necessarily go off of YouTube, which I'm sure you've learned based on my reviews in the past, thinking that I'm going to hear a song because it's in the top 10 and then it not being played. So I wasn't really expecting it, but I was kind of hoping for it. And then when they played it towards the end, I was just like, oh, it was so excellent. It was so excellent. So I definitely think they did a fantastic job with choosing their set list, especially like towards the end. Again, that first song was really heavy. And then that slower song was well placed. And the slower song, when I say slower song, I mean it starts off slow and then like builds up and becomes like a heavier song towards the end, which it was super awesome. I really liked that song. So, and then when I say heavier, I don't mean like hardcore metal. I mean like it's just like an overall heavier song with some slower parts and some quieter parts, but overall the song is heavier. So after that, they played a couple more songs, and then instead of going off stage for the encore, they just said, look, normally we go off stage and chill out backstage for a second, but we're not doing that this time, and we're just going to play like two new ones from the new album, and then we'll play 2 old ones. So that was kind of nice knowing that they weren't going to go off, and that when they were done, they were going to be done. And so the last 2 that they played from the new album were such great choices. It was the one I was hoping to hear but wasn't expecting to hear. And then the last one they played from the new album was just so excellent. It really, really was a great way to end a show before going off for an encore. And then when they came back, they played 2 songs. I really liked the first one they played, and I really enjoyed the second one that they played too. I didn't know either of them, but I did really like them. So yeah, they played all the songs that I liked, like in the middle or towards the beginning of the set. And then that one song was right at the end before they went on to the encore. But yeah, so it was like a pretty good set. They didn't really do much, like entertainment-wise. I mean, they had like little stands, they were basically like tables, like very short tables that they like would jump on and then jump off of to make themselves higher. So that was pretty much the extent of like moving around. And again, like I'm not saying they were boring and just standing in front of the mics. They were definitely moving around the stage, but like Emarosa and even the Faim were definitely more energetic and just like jumping around the stage. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely an interesting show. This in particular was an interesting show because I feel like the show was stolen musically by the Faim, in my opinion, and then just like entertainment value-wise was stolen by Emarosa. So I definitely like, yeah, like I'm torn. Like I don't really know like what my favorite act was this time, and like I would have loved Emarosa if I could understand them, but I just couldn't understand it. So it really just impacted my ability to enjoy their set, which was so unfortunate. Score time. All right, so this is, oh man. All right, I think I'm gonna give this show a 7. The inaccurate time on the website was frustrating for sure. I really loved the first band. I really loved the second band, but not being able to understand the third, fourth, and even at times the fifth band. So to not understand the last 3 bands, I mean, definitely Hands for Houses was a little bit better, like sound-wise. I could definitely understand what he was saying more. But really I could not understand either Devour the Day or Emarosa. So that was like really disappointing, and that definitely brought the score down for sure. Because again, it was just like a half hour of kind of just like, really, this just like stinks. Like I love the music, the band's really great and being energetic, but I can't understand what he's saying. It's so frustrating to me when that happens. So that definitely is bringing the score down. But then again, Hands Like Houses was really good, and even, you know, the amazing stunts that Emarosa pulled. I mean, how do you like just literally pick somebody up and flip them over. So yeah, I think a 7 is a fairly fair score for this one. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you were there, if you weren't there, if you wanted to be there, please comment below.